My style of cooking is Scotland from the heart. I presume is the way you would say it. From the heart part is my gran, going back to that influence of you bring it from the garden, you bring it into your kitchen, you make something with it, and you keep people happy with that kind of dish. So I've taken that on my journey with me and found that in all the wee towns and farms and harbours all around Scotland, restaurants and hotels within the immediate vicinity of these places have brilliant produce, and it's a wee bit harder to get things like that in Glasgow. We're a big city, and 17-20 years ago I would go to all these places, up to Plockton, up to Skye, nice wee places, St Monans, East Coast wee villages, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring these guys into Glasgow. So we have the theory that if Hector can't get my scallops or the boat's not out, then that fish isn't on. It's not going to be one of those, yeah, well, we have it in the freezer, or we would buy something that's not from here and use that instead. And it was an excuse that was given to me by the waiter, and it wasn't an excuse, it was true. The waiter in the Plockton Inn said, oh, the boat broke today, so we didn't get out for Queenies, so there's no Queenie dish for starters. And I thought, the boat broke? Are you kidding me? And I had no concept of that's just what happens. You don't just go to a supermarket and take something off the shelf up there. They cook what they land. So that's where I started drawing in from farmers and fishermen and the shellfish guys. Bring it down to Glasgow. They phone me, I've got a van full of prawns, get the pot on. And that's what I like. Absolute, from the pier to the table, or from as a stable to the plate, that sort of thing, where we know the farmers. And we do as little as we can. 90% of good cooking is good shopping. I only do the wee 10%. When you use fabulous Scottish produce from Scotland's great Larder, then you don't actually need to do too much to it, because the farmers have looked after it, the fishermen have looked after it. We've got the best waters surrounding this island that we live on, the coldest of waters that produces the best of the shellfish, the brilliant land that we've got for all the animals to grow on. You don't need to do anything to it. If we're using vegetables that are from Arran or the Black Isle, or up in Inverness, the leaf farms and herb farms that we use up there, it's just so good, let alone before we even go into strawberry or raspberry chat. There's so much going on, and that my menus come from inspiration from what they bring me. What can we do with this? I would never use strawberries out with the season, because there's no point. I will use British strawberries, if we can get them a couple of weeks before, but I would much rather have the grown here, not flown here. And that's always been my motto, to say, well, use what's here. Why? We are envied worldwide on the quality of the food that we have here. So we should be absolutely shouting from the rooftops about how good Scotland's larder is, and the local produce that we can use. Local to me, Scotland's a region. So that's what I use. They can all be here within, 4 or 5 hours we can get it. So I think the more people that do that, the more people support the economy and support the farmers and the fishermen, and that's what makes Scotland the better place to be.